Helps to remember to take mute off, everybody. Hello and welcome to another exciting Roll the Dice show. You're in for a great show tonight. We have no idea what's going to happen because it's all made up on the spot, but I'm sure it's going to be great and you're all going to love it and laugh hysterically. The gist of our show, if you haven't seen us before, we are an improv comedy show, meaning that everything we do is made up on the spot with often some help from you in the audience. And even the games we're playing, even the improv scenes we're doing are going to be determined by the roll of a die. So we don't even know what games we're playing tonight. It's going to be thrilling. So throughout the show, we're going to be asking for some suggestions, some input from you in the audience to determine exactly what's going to happen. And I'm making sure I have YouTube troubles here. Nope. Okay, I think we're good. I've got my YouTube muted. Thought we had some crosstalk for a minute. So throughout the show, we're going to be asking for input from you, the audience. So to help us out, all you need to do is drop your feedback in the YouTube chat. I'll be monitoring it throughout the show. So if I ask, for instance, for a suggestion for a location where people might meet, you could name some locations and we'll pick them from the chat. That's about all you need to know. If you're confused at all, don't worry, it'll make perfect sense once we get started. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started and introduce our esteemed performers. I'm Josh. I'm going to be your host for the evening. And let's get everybody else on our virtual stage now.
Hello, I'm Ben.
Hey, I'm Nicki.
I'm Mark.
Hi, I'm Cassi.
And again, together we are Roll the Dice, and we've got a great show in store for all of you. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and find out what our first game is going to be. We've got our die roller up and ready. Let's give it a spin. We're going to be playing game number 9.
Number 9
is a fun little game called Director's Nightmare. And for this game, we are going to need a suggestion for a movie that has never been made before. And I'm going to stop sharing so you can see all of us again. So for this game, we are going to be acting out a movie for all of you. And the gist of this movie, well, we'll find out as we go. But I'm going to be serving as the director. And periodically throughout this movie, I'll be pausing the action to add some stage notes to maybe up the ante a little, make things a little more exciting. You'll see. So to start things out, we need again, a title of a movie that's never been made, and then also we're going to need a few other things I might use as director's notes. So if you just want to drop in things like emotions that you might want to see actors convey, film genres that you might think a scene should be acted out in, and then maybe even some animals that you think might be entertaining in a movie. Talking animals in movies are, fun. So throw in all the suggestions you can come up with. Keep them rolling, and let's go ahead and get started once we have some kind of title. If someone wants to, oh, I see, The Cat from Hell. This is going to be the most exciting blockbuster of 2022, The Cat from Hell. And no notes to start. Let's just jump into the action, and I'll give some side coaching as needed. And action.
I sure am excited to go to the animal shelter to pick out an animal. Just anything that's just soft and sweet and needy and loving. It's going to be great. It's going to be so great, Mom and Dad.
Oh, I think you've earned this. You know, you've saved your allowance all summer, and this is going to be a great experience for you.
Yeah, I mowed a lot of lawns for this, Mom.
You sure did.
Welcome. Welcome here. We are glad that you chose our shelter. May I ask, what is it that you are looking for?
Just a pet I can take care of and call my own, that's soft and sweet and makes my life full.
Something low maintenance.
Also expensive.
Cut. I don't know. There's something just missing here. The gist of it is, sweet, heartwarming, family-friendly, schmaltzy kind of thing, but it needs a little more. We need some oomph to it. I need to feel some emotion in these scenes. So let's pick up where we left off. Keep it going. But Nicki, I want you to show total fear. Okay. Ben, I want you to show excitement. In Mark, I want you to show intense paranoia. All right. And let's continue. Action.
Yeah, just if you, whatever kind of pet you can give me that would keep me safe, like something like with fangs, something that's strong and could lift me in or out of a trunk, maybe just out of the trunk, not into the trunk. That would be good. That would be really good, right, Mom?
But what if it all goes wrong? What if something terrible happens, like it did to your brother?
Well, that's the idea. We have wonderful options here. I'm so excited that you said that because we have little Damien Fluffy Tums right here for you. What do you think?
It looks really poofy, Mom. I don't think it's going to keep us. It's going to keep us safe.
It looks crazy.
What if it comes back?
Cut. I like the emotion. It's added some additional something, but we're not there yet. We need some more. I think I want to see it again. Nicki and Ben, keep your emotions, but Ben, I want you to be a chipmunk. Just go with it. It'll make sense. And Nicki, I'd like you to be a giraffe, keeping the same emotion. Mark, we're going to switch out your emotion. It's a little too similar to fear. You're going to be disgusted, but you're going to be a disgusted polar bear. All right. And action.
Ugh. This is awful. Everything here is room temperature.
I think it's looking at me. It's looking at me.
It certainly is looking at you. It's a wonderful, wonderful animal.
Ew. They're terrible.
It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Mom. Just could you just hand me? I think I dropped my phone.
He seems a little high strung.
Cut. We're almost there, I think. It's just, and this is on me. As the director, I really should have sorted this out up front, but it occurs to me we never decided what genre this movie's going to be. Maybe that's why we're all floundering a little. So yeah, keep your animals. I'm liking them. Keep the emotions. That's working great. But let's pick up right where we left off. But now it's an adventure movie. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we really got it this time. Action.
Oh. Mom, here, just climb one of my legs. Just climb one of my
I
legs.
love these things. Oh, okay. I got this leg.
And you know what? I think now we could escape, but instead of leaving the house, what if we just left the planet? We could go through the jungle.
Yes.
And
Why
take a
not
vine.
explore outer space? Come with us, Damien Fluffletums. Let's do it.
That space is disgusting.
I think 2022, the summer blockbuster of The Cat from Hell. We're gonna make bank on this. It's gonna be great.
Continues.
We'll see you all on the red carpet.
That's right. It started here. That's right.
Oh. Let's move right on into our next game, which is going to be number 20. And that means we're going to be playing something known as a quick fire game. These are real quick, off the cuff, fast moving, laugh a minute games. And we have 4 of them to choose from. So we're actually going to bonus roll another die to see which one we're playing. And we are playing number 1, which is a quick fire game called World's Worst. And this is a game for all of our players, myself included. So what to do is if you could just drop in the chat a bunch of different occupations, jobs that people might have, and we will show you the world's worst version of these jobs. So we'll riff on a bunch of these over the next several minutes. So keep them coming. Waiting on some jobs to roll in here. While we're waiting on those, I'm going to open up a random job generator, because that's a thing. The internet is a wonderful place. And we'll get started with a couple random suggestions, but please, by all means, keep them coming in the chat as well. Our first job that we want to see the world's worst version of is massage therapist. World's worst massage therapist. Mark.
So this might feel a little different. I just got my nails done. I went for the acrylics. They're really nice, but it should feel a little different.
Hi, I'm Edward Scissorhands. I'll be doing your massage today. Ben.
Okay, a little bit for you and a little bit for me right here, okay? Right.
Cassie.
Oh, this rash, it's nothing. It's not contagious at all.
Mark.
You're actually the first living body I've worked on.
Nicki.
So tell me a little bit more about how it feels to be a massage.
Get another occupation. We've got some rolling in the chat now. Let's see, the world's worst dentist. Mark.
Okay, so I know a lot of dentists try to use the drill as minimally as possible, but I feel like the drill is such a strong tool. It can be used in so many different ways and places. I really just love the drill.
A little bit of nitrous for you, a little bit for me, little for you.
So when you open the car door, you're going to want to lean into it, but you really got to use some power. Otherwise, it's just going to leave a scratch.
These are the first living teeth I've worked on.
Ben.
Why, yes, I have a side job doing MMA. Okay, now brace yourself.
Well, I got fired from my job at the construction site, but they let me keep the tools, so I thought, I did try. Mark.
Welcome to Jim's Historic Dentist. We model all our things after the research we've done on the medieval dentistry industry.
All right, let's get Nicki.
So if you want a membership to Laurel's Dentistry and Candy Emporium, it's really like the dentistry pays for itself. It's going to end up with you spending a lot of time here.
All right, let's get one more job to round this out. Ice cream truck driver. World's worst ice cream truck driver. Cassi.
10 points for that kid on the bike.
Mark.
Yeah, really the awkward part is I'm not allowed to drive within 300 feet of the playgrounds.
Josh. This light better turn green soon. I've still got a bunch of neighborhoods to hit, and I am melting fast. Nicki.
So when I was banished down here in hell, that's it.
Hey everybody, it's all vegan, huh?
Cassi.
A lick for you, a lick for me.
All right, let's get one more occupation in here. I see hairball restorer. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I guess we're going to find out. Let's see the world's worst one.
As you see, we have a nice mid-century hairball. We brought it back almost completely to its original edition with the careful painting of each hair and strand.
See, I think we need to hear more. It's literally hairball restorer, which also would probably be the worst job you didn't know you needed in your life. Anyway, let's move on to our next game. Which is, if I can reach there it is, there's the die roller. We are playing game number 10. It is time for a guessing game. This means, again, we're going to switch over to our 4-sided die for 4 other games here. We're going to play one of the 4 guessing games. And the guessing game we're going to play is one of our favorites. It's a game called Returns. And for this game, I need suggestions for everyday household objects that have some sort of strange quirk about them. The quirk shouldn't have anything to do with the object itself, like a hammer that's possessed by the devil, or a picture frame that sings Madonna songs, that sort of thing, a random object that has some sort of strange quirk. And the way this game works is that our performers are going to come on one at a time. And one of our performers, one brave performer here, is going to be the return agent. They're going to work at the returns counter at some store that sells basically everything. And they'll be accepting returns from our other 3 performers. The catch is our performers don't know what they're returning. And with some clever help from the return agent, they will have to guess what exactly it is that they are returning. So we need some suggestions for household objects with quirks that our performers can guess at. And then we need one of our improvisers to join me on our virtual stage here to be the return agent. I'm going to send the other 3 to the waiting room so they can't see or hear what we're talking about. Cassi will be our return agent. I'm going to then send Nicki, Mark, and Ben to our waiting rooms. Rest assured, they are not in the YouTube chat either, so they won't be able to see your suggestions there. They will be completely in the dark until they figure out what they're returning. So we need some suggestions for household objects with odd quirks. Don't be afraid to put your suggestions in the chat, folks. All right, our first one, a maple flavored lamp. Our second is a broom. We need something quirky about that broom. What's weird about the broom? Oh, my chat just disappeared. There it is. A broom that talks back. It's going to be fun. We just need one more. A coffee cup that burps. Okay, so we have, to recap, our first returner will be returning a maple flavored lamp. Our second will be returning a broom that talks back. And the third, a coffee cup that burps. And I'm going to go bring our performers back. They'll come on stage one at a time and have to guess what it is that they're returning to Cassi. All right, come on back, everybody. Whoops. Come on back, everybody. Where are they?
They got lost. They got lost on their way to return things.
Apparently, they took a wrong turn somewhere. Here we are. I was looking for that admit all button. They're coming back. Here we go.
Hey, so I'm not really sure what the return policy is for this store, but I'm going to need to return this product right here that I've been carrying in my pocket.
Well, that is small. Did it not bring enlightenment to you?
No, any enlightenment it was supposed to give me, I think it must have fallen off in the box that it came in.
You don't have the box that it came in?
Not the original packaging, but you can tell I didn't really use it.
Yes, I see. It is a little dark.
Is it supposed to be that dark?
Did you plug it in?
I'm sure I looked at the manual. So if it said to plug it in, I plugged it in, but I think it was only plugged in briefly and it just didn't seem like it was doing what it was supposed to do.
Did you try, try licking it and then checking it with your finger?
That doesn't sound very sanitary at all. Are you really supposed to be given that kind of advice?
Well, it's for the start of every day.
It didn't seem like it was the way I would want to start any day at all.
Did it have the bulb with it?
Oh, no, I think the bulb came separate for this lamp.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bulb came separate because it wasn't in that original packaging. It must have fallen off with the Enlightenment.
Okay. Was it something about, would you prefer, maybe blueberry instead? Blueberry Enlightenment?
I think it was more so because of the blueberry taste of the lamp. For what I could get instead, I think so. This edible lamp that I have, it's just the fruit is too much for me. I'm not really a big fruit person.
Oh, it doesn't seem to be fruit. It's more like, I don't know, bark.
But I think I didn't really pay attention a lot to the food pyramid portion of my home ec class or shop. So
maybe if you would have turned the light on with some pancakes, it could have brought you total enlightenment.
But if I turned it on with pancakes.
Turned it on, yeah, like while you were eating pancakes or waffles or French toast.
So it's just breakfast. This is the lamp that makes me breakfast. Because I thought it was when I bought it, and maybe that's the problem. Is I thought it was going to make me breakfast.
I don't know if it'd make you breakfast or maybe just like a condiment on the side with breakfast.
But I think people just underestimate how bitter maple can be when it's in a lamp, because it was almost like it adhered to the inside of the lamp, so it came off kind of metallic, and I wasn't expecting that when I bought it. Also, I thought it came with Enlightenment and was going to make me breakfast instead of just being a lamp full of maple syrup.
Yeah, we'll take it back, but
Okay.
I would tell you to, maybe go down the hickory aisle, and maybe you could find something there that you would like better.
Okay, yeah, especially if I can only get store credit since I was carrying this one in my pocket.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello. Hi, ma'am. I would like to return this to your otherwise lovely store. I'm not happy.
Oh, and what about it? Did it not work well for you? It didn't.
At first, worked smooth, worked fairly well. It just something about the weight of it. The longer I did it, it just got worse and worse. So I'd rather just return it.
It wasn't just kind of like a clean sweep. That it was.
Well, me and I'm on the curling team and all these. I like things to be kind of tidy, using the broom the best that I can. But I really need something very reliable, and this is not it.
Oh, you don't think it gave you purpose or direction? Was it a little condescending, maybe? critiquing your cleaning skills, one could say.
I did pick up on a little bit of judgment there, that that you have that going on, and you can't have that in a household where the vacuum and the mop and everything is looking at you that way. So I got to fight back now,
Yeah, I guess maybe your vacuum and your mop are, maybe they're a little bit more domesticated, I guess. Not as sassy, one might say. Oh.
Yeah, I get that sense. We have some heart-to-hearts, kind of. Cleaning up and downstairs can give you a lot of opportunities to do that. Less happy is not making me happy, for sure. So yeah, I don't think this needs to be with me anymore. Is there a problem returning it?
No, I don't think so. I think from what I hear, you're wanting a little less critiquing, maybe a little more encouraging, a little more domesticated, a little less sass.
Yeah, a trained thing, something that does take directions well. I would like that, but not sure that I can get it from this. Need to have something I can put some elbow grease into and really work up a good clean.
All right. Yeah, I understand. A little too much sassiness for you in this room. So we'll take it back. I really can only give you in-store credit though. So I'll give you $50 in-store credit and maybe send you down to the domestic aisle and see if you can find something a little more docile.
Something more household. Thank you, ma'am. I will gladly take it.
Yeah.
I have returned.
Well, that's excellent. Welcome back to Margot's Market, where we have everything. How can I help you today?
Well, I brought this item that I purchased here, for it does not do what it was promised.
I find that very interesting.
Me too.
Do you start your day with it every day?
Yes. Yes, I have. And it's been a misery.
Well, usually I like to start my day off with a smooth bit of Java.
Oh, yes. That sweet elixir from the Isle of Java that some might call coffee.
Yes.
And this machine was meant to make the coffee for me. But alas, it does not perform as I dreamed it would.
Was it the upsetting noise it makes, or after you drink it, or do you think that could have just been you?
Does it matter if I made the noise or it made the noise? The point is there was a noise.
Oh, I see. And you like to start your mornings off a little bit less gassy, a little quieter.
Yes. A very quiet morning brings me calm and peace before I go out adventuring. So, with this gas noise making coffee maker, possibly flatulent, releasing the acrid smell of rotting coffee.
Maybe the other end
Of the coffee maker?
of the noise level.
Oh, yes. Yes, for it was belching forth the terrible smells of burnt coffee and dead shots.
Oh, I guess that wouldn't be very good every time you're going to try and, take a swig and put that right up to your nose. And
It was terrible, terrible. It belched forth so many times. I could
You know
not stand
what?
it.
Normally I could only give you in-store credit, but just the thought of that, I'm just going to have to give you your money back.
Thank you.
Sounds hideous.
It was terrible, terrible. So sad.
Well, take your $5 and go down the street to Starbucks and help yourself to some good coffee.
It was worth every penny.
And that's returns, everybody.
Nice.
The most unique store anyone has ever returned something to. Now, let's go ahead and find out what our next improv game is going to be. Now that I've showed my desktop instead of our game list. Here we are. 20-sided die says we are playing a game called English Gibberish Switch. And this is a game for 2 of our performers. And in this game, I need a suggestion for a relationship between 2 people. And if you could drop that in the chat. The gist of this game is that Mark and Nicki are going to be doing a scene with a relationship shortly to be determined. And in this scene, they're just going to go about their own business, talking in English as we typically do during these shows. And when I feel like making things interesting, I will say switch, and they will stop talking in English and commence talking in utter gibberish. Then, when I say switch again, they will continue the scene in English right where they left off in gibberish, and it's up to them to make it make sense. This is English Gibberish Switch, and the 2 of you are lovers. You are romantically involved. And here we are, English Gibberish Switch.
Good morning.
Is it really that good of a morning? We're supposed to meet for coffee, and you're clearly checking out the woman at the next table. We haven't been here 5 minutes.
Well, I've been thinking about making a movie, and I'm looking at casting, and so I'm evaluating potential actors or actresses or actri. I'm not sure. I don't know speak Latin. But the point is, she looked like one of the characters that I had envisioned in my head, so I wanted to kind of evaluate her potential for the role.
Yeah, and I'm sure that every postal worker is actively hunting for the cast for their upcoming movie. That's just a thing that people do.
Well, I've got the what was it called? Go Fund Yourself. I've got the Go Fund Yourself for the movie, and when I get, I'm working on the script, and so when I get it all together, I won't be.
Switch.
Dies blonding dog. Banding Lipsteam don't think about we jump.
You make some good points, you really do. But
I know.
But I think you should be open to, just like Wallace Stevens was a poet, but he was also an insurance salesman. And here I am, a postal worker who may also be a favorite.
Oh, Blimba, Shinja no balala, la, oh la.
You
Did you find the level of the audio of the plat? And je plat, And at 3:00, we were supposed to meet for a movie. You show up late. And then when we're in the line, then you're checking out the boots of the woman who's in front of us, because they might be boots that this woman might need to wear, or a different woman might need to wear for this movie you've been working on since 8th grade.
I feel like I'm almost there.
And so every time you show up late, and every time that you start checking out what some woman is wearing, it can't be about this movie that you're writing, because you haven't even written more than a page. It's going to take more than, at this pace, that was in 8th grade you started. You're 50.
Well,
I don't feel bad for you at all. 50. How old is somebody in 8th grade? Like, do you need that? Nobody do? Just one page. It's not even a large font. I mean, it's even not even a small font. It's like Times New Roman 18.
Which?
Oh, duh. Ooh, ah. These are bad deal.
Which?
I'm done. I'm totally done with it. I know the only reason you're getting emotional right now is because you know, and I know, that I've got a glass of wine here, even though it's breakfast, and it would stain your favorite shirt.
And scene.
Nice.
I'm sure everyone followed every moment of that.
It was a tumultuous relationship.
Let's see what we're playing next. I think we've got time for a couple more games. Let's play a game called 15, which is for an expert, meaning you're going to get to hear some more gibberish, but this time gibberish from an expert. So for this game, we need a subject that someone might be an expert in. You want to drop that in the chat. And Cassie and Nicki, who wants to be the expert in this scene? Or Cassie and Nicki? Which one of you wants to be the expert?
I'll be the expert.
Cassie is going to be our expert, which means in this scene, our expert is someone who is the world-leading expert on some subject, which we're waiting to see what pops up in our chat. And then the audience is going to be submitting some questions to our expert. So once we know what subject Cassie is an expert in, start submitting your questions. There is a delay between us and YouTube, so please be patient, but don't wait for us, just keep the questions coming. And I will then moderate and ask those questions to Cassie. The issue is that although Cassie understands English perfectly, she does not speak a word of it. And so she will respond to our questions in, again, like our last scene, total gibberish. Nicki's job is to act as the translator. So Nicki will then translate what Cassie says into English so all of you understand the knowledge that is being dropped on you. So Cassie, you are an expert in pastry. So now go ahead and drop questions in the chat you would like answered by a world-leading pastry chef. Go ahead and keep those coming. And again, I will moderate. So to start things off, Cassie, thank you so much for joining us here today. It really is a pleasure to have an esteemed expert in the pastry arts with us, someone with such a pedigree as yourself. But please, first, could you introduce yourself?
Maniga, Tubisakato, Amana Ginga.
My name's Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie. It's a pleasure having you here. We're still waiting on a few more questions from our audience, but while we're waiting, I know something everyone will just be eager to hear. How is it that you became so enamored of the wide world of pastries?
Me queda saying, ever do you guys see all la mega theater and Lotski and Lee? So higher.
When I was a young girl, I lived in a cave and there wasn't a lot of air in it. And so when the air would come in and it was right next to a bakery, I could smell the yeast. And so life smelled like yeast, and now my life is yeast.
Fascinating. So tell us, I know everyone who has ever heard anything about pastries has wondered this. How is it that you make Napoleons?
He. Also, es just amaris acouche.
So I take the ingredients and I put them together in a very specific way that I know how to do.
That's both very informative and still mysterious. You truly are an artist. I won't ask you to reveal any deep secrets, but could you please tell us this one deep secret? How do you make the crust so flaky?
Butter.
Butter, of course. How did we not all know that already? So, if you had to choose, Cassie, what is your all-time favorite pastry?
Tuya Foya Sink.
That's a tough question. I named my daughter Macaroon, so I'm going to go with donut.
Well, yes, I suppose anything else would be a little too on the nose. Yes, other questions coming in from our audience. Let's see. Do you have any tips for first-time pastry bakers?
Soy ha kui masu and joy.
So when you get your equipment, you're going to want to make sure that you check it all out. Verify that it's under warranty and plug it in to test to make sure that it's operational. Don't leave yourself just a short period of time. Make sure you prepare all of your ingredients in advance so that you don't forget anything. Preheat your oven at least 20 minutes before you begin. Set out your butter before you touch anything else. And also make sure that your hands are clean and everything in your kitchen is sanitary, knives sharp, and you have someone to help you in case of emergency or injury.
Now, that is quite the list of things to be aware of. Very important. Also shows just how challenging it must be to bake. I feel comfortable saying that I am impressed by your knowledge and expertise, and I'm sure all of our audience are as well. So again, thank you so much, Cassie, for sharing your time with us today. We can't wait to taste some of your delicious baked goods.
Say sweet.
Thanks.
And scene. So now that we're all suitably hungry, I know I want a Napoleon right now. Let's move on to our final game. And it's time for that to revisit our four-sided die for another quick-fire game. And for the quick-fire games, again, we switch to our four-sided die. we are playing a game that's relatively new called Seinfelding. In this game, we need suggestions of absolutely any nouns, objects, occupations, basically any one-word suggestions you can think of. Just keep them coming and we'll riff on as many of these as we can. Just go ahead and drop them all in the chat. And we're gonna work through as many of these as we can over the next several minutes. The gist of how this game works, if any of you are familiar with the comedy of Jerry Seinfeld, it takes a form similar to that. We will take each of your suggestions in the format of what's the deal with blank? And then we will make a cheesy joke about that suggestion. And again, we'll work on a bunch of these for each suggestion, and that our show with hopefully a bunch of absurd laughs. Now, while I'm waiting for those suggestions to roll in into our chat, I just want to let you know, of course, you're watching this all live on YouTube, or if you're watching this in the future, recorded on YouTube. But we also, under other circumstances, do all sorts of shows in person when there is not a global pandemic. So Big Canvas, the organization that Roll the Dice is a part of, is a nonprofit organization that believes in the mission of comedy for everyone. So we're all about making everybody laugh, regardless of who you are. So we do shows that are all family friendly and open to everyone. Right now, all virtual. At some point in the future, when it is safe to do so, we'll be having shows several nights a week in our theater in the Blackstone district in Omaha. We'll also be having classes and workshops. So if you think this is fun and you want to try it yourself, down the line, there'll be opportunities for you to get involved in doing improv yourself. And in the meantime, you can keep joining us as Roll the Dice on YouTube. Our shows are the second and fourth Friday of every month. So we have another show coming up in just a couple of weeks. And I see that some suggestions are rolling into the chat, which is great. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first suggestion is Professor. Mark. Mark is on mute.
What's the deal with professors? What are they professing? I'm just here to learn math.
Cassie.
What's the deal with professors? I mean, isn't it if you can't do it, teach it? So what are they the pros at?
Let's go down our suggestion list and take our next one. Musicians. Okay.
What's the deal with musicians? Are you just that much cooler because you can play a guitar?
Ben.
Now, what is the deal with musicians and thinking they can cure our ills? I could walk outside for free, not have to pluck down $20 for your album, and look at flowers just fine. Get over yourselves.
Let's go and get another suggestion. Paddles.
Can you repeat that, Josh?
Paddle, like potentially a canoe paddle. Yeah. What's the deal with paddles? How is it that this thing can be a transportation implement for your canoe and also a disciplinary implement? That's a strange combination. Mark.
And why does every fraternity have so many paddles? They don't have any boats, but they've all got paddles.
What is the deal with paddles? Do you have to choose one over the other? Can you use something else in terms of a paddle? I want to know, is it one or the other?
Nicki.
What's the deal with paddles? And why do people say that someone's up the creek without a paddle? I mean, if you're up a creek's not really a major body of water. It seems like you could probably just walk. And if you were stuck, wouldn't you want a motor to get you back somewhere? Why would you want to have to paddle if you're already tired and lost?
Ben.
What is the deal with paddles and making beavers so arrogant? Slapping the top of the water that they're doing. It's as if they have something to say, but you don't. You're a beaver.
With another word. We have cattle, not paddle, cattle. What's the deal with cattle? Why is a herd of cows called cattle, not cowl? Shouldn't a herd of cats be cattle? Cassie.
What's the deal with cattle? Why is it just so tasty?
Ben.
What's the deal with those cattles around Christmas time? The red cattle? Every time I put a quarter in, I keep expecting it to moo, but nope, it's just a metallic ding.
Let's get one more suggestion. Skunk.
Skunk.
Nicki.
What is the deal with skunk? Like, is it skunk or skunks? And why are they black and white? Like, where are they blending in where someone's going to say, oh yeah, it's right in the middle of the road. It's got a white hash mark running from head to tail.
Ben.
What is the deal with skunks and them being so quiet? Some lessons, build up their confidence. Maybe then they'll be able to say it and not spray it.
Josh. What's the deal with skunks? How did we end up with something that basically looks like a cute, fluffy cat that smells really bad? Mark.
What is the deal with skunks? And why does my son's room always smell like one? Is he kidnapped one and keeping it in there? I want to know.
Team, we'll call it down. Good show, everybody. Let's roll the dice. Now that you've seen us and hopefully love us, we hope you'll join us back here in 2 weeks. Our next show is Friday, March 12th at the same time. You can also, on our YouTube channel, revisit and rewatch all of our past shows right back to the beginning of January. And again, keep your eyes peeled for when the situation changes and Big Canvas, including Roll the Dice, can do shows in person. If you want to keep your eye out for that, just go to bigcanvascomedy.com, and that's where all our stuff is going to be listed. You can also find us on Facebook. Feel free to like us, follow us for our show, as well as updates on other virtual Big Canvas shows. But for now, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We had a great time. We hope you all had a great time. Again, I am Josh.
Ben?
Nicki.
Cassie.
And Mark.
And together, we are Roll the Dice. Have a great night, everybody.